lose Scout as well again the second time in a row. But for LNG, they're getting rid of the Recon. They did exceptional with Hong on it in game number 2. SwordArt was very good on it in game number 1. So they're just saying, look, we're not going to let that out on the board. We're going to take that away from everybody.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see what anyone's at. Okay, it's Rumble Blind with a hover on a grid. See, the thing is, hovers in the LPL sometimes actually do get locked in more often than not. So I have to mention it, but it will just be the Wukong. So immediately, anyone's legend indexing into team fighting. Level 6 is going to be huge. Cyclone, Equalizer. See what LNG want to do. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something super defensive here from the bottom side. As oh LPL, how I love you. If you do go Lucian Nami, I'll be upset.
No,
but, you know,
no! I thought we were done with this.
It doesn't. I don't know, man. Like, you've got Vi. You can pick up one AD carry who's gonna do fine into the team fighting powers of the likes of a Rumble and a Wukong. You go something like Xayah. You go like Xayah Ahri. Just like makes the lives of anyone's legend so difficult with their opener. But it's okay. You know, it's all right. They want Lucian Nami. They take Lucian Nami. That's fine. And anyone's legend will snap up the Ahri in their own right, and they'll start removing away counters to them. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Talia join the ban phase, as it does. Just removing away the strong pairings to deal with the mobility of the Ahri. Now I think LNG are going to have to think hard about what Scout wants to play. Maybe he himself has a go at the LeBlanc on the opposite end. Wouldn't be actually too surprised to see that one go through for LNG. We'll see what they decide to go for, as they're just removing away more engage tools. Wouldn't be surprised to see Leona taken away from SwordArt as well. Alongside that, Leona could also go something like the Thresh, but I think either or, right? Kill threat, team fighting, they actually go towards the Draven of Bay. So I don't mind that either. Just something that can obviously stand up to Lucian one-to-one inside of the lane. Speaking of things that can do that on occasion, Varus up and available and still very strong in the laning phase.
Can do. Could see the Ashe as well. I thought we were done with this, but we are not. Ashe Varus could be the combination. Could also still be an Ashe AD carry. You know, can be possible there. But generally speaking, we do see the Ashe go back towards that AD carry role. And now LNG didn't actually get any bans towards the top lane, apart from the Jax that was right off the bat. So AL very confident in ZDZ's ability to be able to kite this champion out, regardless of what it goes against. And LNG going to be able to go with an old school combination. They are looking to get inside everybody's heads. The Kaisa comes out here for Betty. And I will say I am partial to a good Kaisa play. It can be difficult to pilot, but if you can get those engages, oh Nelly, can it be destruction for the enemy team.
Yeah, what was the saying that you have about Kaisa again? I forget what it is. I think it's something like Gala, 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 yeah. if I remember right.
Something about pentakills and Gala, I'm not quite sure.
So that's going to be the call here for anyone's legend. Kaisa just diving in with the Wukong alongside the Ahri and the Rumble. I don't hate it, but I feel like the laning phase could be a little bit difficult, especially when you could have gone towards something like the Varus, which can still offer a little bit of dive assistance with the ultimate and with the poke coming through. I feel like it would have stood a little bit taller against Nami Lucian when you've got the Ashe at your side, but that...
Yeah, has to make it work for him and his team. But I think the big thing I'm looking at as well is that for AL, it's all doom and gloom. We talk about the side lane and we talk about the, the dive potential coming out from LNG. However, if you look at AL, and they've got so much good pick potential. You find someone out on that kind of, 1-4 setup or even a 1-3-1 setup where the Galio's trying to hover between mid and bot or such. You end up with a much harder fight to execute on as LNG. As a whole, LNG's composition is terrifying, but when you start to pick it apart, it can just kind of not be as impactful as some of these individual champions. So for AL, definitely curious to see where they're able to kind of find those advantages, if any, because again, like I said, game 2 was just so exceptionally clean from LNG. Really felt like they just kind of came back onto the rift and joined the fight, if you will, to kind of, make them know that, look, we're a top 3, if not top 2 team in this league, and you shall show us respect.
Yeah, absolutely. As anyone's legend are getting collapsed on, and I feel like Scout is going to start W, and they're both dead. Perfect. Excellent start.
Well, just one dead. No, neither dead.
No, neither dead. All right.
I feel like the flash was really not needed by Scout there. I actually put him in a worse position, in my opinion.
Worse spot. Yeah, SwordArt's probably going to have to flash as well. Maybe.
No, it should be fine.
Maybe not. Okay.
We're just wrong.
What just happened?
We're just wrong.
What just happened? Did Scout missed XP on the wave as well as he returned back to the mid lane? What is going on? I'm so confused. I love the LPL at times. Well, I love it all the time, but like at times it just even specialer place.
Now we got to wait and see where this kind of advantage on bot side kind of goes. I don't know where to bring this, man. I'm gonna be real with you. It's just...
no, it's cool. No, it's fine. You know, I think sometimes you get a weird game style like that, and it's a bit hard
throws
to...
you off.
Yeah. All right, zoom out, deep breath, all that good stuff. Cast our bread and butter.
You know what's a good way to calm your system down? It's actually really something I learned from years ago. It's you take 2 breaths in with your nose, like in quick succession, so like almost like you're sniffling, and then you like slow release it out of your mouth. And if you do that like 4 or 5 times, it really helps relax you. At least it helps relax me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
I might use that.
Often a little moment there. Years of panic attacks have taught me how to deal with them. So I now know how to deal with these things, thankfully. But
nothing a little bit of trauma to help fix up on the issues. No big deal. As oh my god.
Yeah, those
so
harpoons,
silly, man. Sometimes holy.
We're seeing a power within. That's probably why we're seeing a very blindable right now, because it's saying, cool, like, this is a lot of work that we can work with.
A lot of damage. And so far, just doing a great job in that laning phase 1-to-1. Xiaohao will get chunked out. His first move from Pinji, but he could actually get pincered if he moves too quickly.
Yeah, ooh. To see Tarzan could have flash queued, and I think that Pinzi had to give the right level of respect there to kind of say, look, I'm better off losing my flash than getting killed underneath this turret. So good little move there from LNG's jungler to make sure that that mid lane is equaled out in terms of the flashes used.
And we'll see whether or not they can actually lock Pinzi down now that he has no flash, right? A return gank could be very, very potent. I've fallen victim to this as well, Tarzan. It's so annoying. The pet stops hitting the scuttle at really weird times sometimes, and you'd expect it to die. Especially because we've had the jungle item. Like, you know, our muscle memory as junglers is kind of like gone by. It dropped to like 31 HP, and then the pet just didn't hit. I don't know if it's a bug or whether it's genuinely the actual intention.
I think the pet has a like, if you're attacking it and if you catch it between animations kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, I think it's intentional, but I just don't think it's very well thought out.
Intuitive.
It's really annoying. Yeah, intuitive. Good word.
Yeah. But so far, still early game. To be expected, I think, for level 6, right? You know, Lucian Nami needs a couple levels until it starts to really, like, assert dominance. Then, of course, it's about that 1 item spike. So top side for LNG is all about the level 6s, whereas on the opposite side for AL, kind of a similar deal for their pick potential to come online as well. So not too shocked that everyone is kind of just taking it slow for now. But CS leads very incremental across the board. Not too much to talk about. But I think a calm early game for AL probably benefit them a little bit more. Not having a super, you know... I was about to say something which I don't think I can say on podcast. I'm trying to caught myself. A little bit
You're
too...
learning.
I'm learning. I caught myself before it even came out of my mouth. But like, you know, I think a game with, you know, just pretty much action non-stop is probably not super beneficial to them as a whole. But I think now the level 6s are online, now we can start to see that action come through. And it just has to be calculated aggression for the most part.
It'll be a dragon take here by LNG. Nothing really to reward after that, but might see LP in a little bit of trouble if he's not careful. We have Xiaohao in the wings as such. And you know what, Jamada? Don't believe. Did I ask you? I can't remember. I've asked every new color caster. You know, their first year, first split, first full split.
Yeah.
You know, how you what's been the kind of your highlights for it so far? You know, maybe something you want to kind of like, you know, be incredible, or maybe something that was a little bit more difficult or different to what you expected. How's it been for you so far?
Oh, personal question. Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly,
you're new. Want to see how you're getting on?
It's been great. I love the constant action that we always get here in the LPL.
Sorry, I just want to call out something very quickly. I caster cursed it by trying to make it a personal question. They were setting it up, and then you caster cursed it by talking about action. So, thinking of action, we're going to see ZDZ. Whoa! I got a little bit of light there. I'm not quite sure what happened there. That looks very strange, but it ends up being a kill up on that top side. Regardless, bot lane does end up seeing a couple of summoners traded back heal for heal. But it ends up being a little bit more in LNG's favor, so they are getting advantages across the map.
Yeah, it's really, really solid from LNG across the board. And to top off that question, it's been great. You know, I can't ask for much more. I'm commentating over world champions every other series. And of course, best region in the world.
And future world champions as well.
And future world champions often enough, yeah. So,
in 2023, we got the script on and we talked about this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like how for any EUM or now EMEA enjoyers, often you're watching the ADC champion of like the next year. As
that's true.
We had Yike want to be champion. Yeah, exactly. You had Yike almost across the finish line over at EUM. Couldn't make it with LDLC. I know there's a very small overlap of fans that understand what I'm talking about, but for the vast majority, there won't be many.
And I'm one of them.
And you're one of them. But of course, Yike did make that climb over in those tournaments. I feel like that's one thing that's kind of undervalued here in the LPL from like maybe a Western perspective, I suppose, is that how much talent the LPL probably churns out into the LPL like on a consistent basis with so many teams in the league below. Like that's
the LDL is just like Young Miracles were there for. They're gone now. They'll be disbanding, sadly. So a powerhouse of developmental talent is no longer going to be within the LDL. But yeah, I mean, like, it kind of is the nature of the things of that. You know, you have 17 teams in your league. You've got 20 below you. That there's just going to be an unbelievable funnel of talent that kind of comes in between that. LCK challengers as well, like EMEA, you know, these are the regions that are consistently doing well in internationals. You know, well, Europe's had a little bit of a slump, but you know, and they're the ones that have the programs to kind of, you know, keep the new talent coming up. You know, you got to be at your best if you want to beat the best.
Seems you won't, I will. And then there's NA, which, to be fair, NACLs,
they're getting there. They're getting there. They're getting their stuff together. Yeah, they're cleaning up. They're cleaning up.
that I can appreciate. Zika is going to eat a bunch of damage. To be fair, the Sheen proc in return was quite nice, but you have to remember, with Ignite on one side and not on the other, the trade is not as one-sided as you would necessarily believe at first. As this is actually going to pull Scout up. He doesn't have ult, but Hextech Ultimatum is still available. But ZDZ will actually pay respect to it this time. Doesn't want to get caught out on that one. And Pingy as well. You can immediately see as soon as Scout dips into Fog, right? If you can't necessarily answer the roam, just shove in the wave super hard. At the very least, try and make Scout miss the wave as he goes for those plays. That won't be the case this time around.
Yeah, Riftwell has obviously been picked up by Xiaohao, so he's going to have that to be able to work with whatever he wants. 48 seconds till the next dragon spawns. Betty going to get engaged upon here. Cleanse gets used. Aqua Prison does not land. Not quite sure where the cleanse was coming from, but not where it was coming from. What it was going to be kind of useful for after the ultimate had already been used. Tidal wave comes out. There's going to be the Galio joining in. Not going to hit anybody just yet. Xiaohao goes down. They're going to catch out the Ahri as well. TP immediately used there by Zika to get himself back into that top side. That's going to be Dragon as well, confirmed for LNG.
Just really well read information at hand as well from LNG. Everyone was ready for that one. Zika roaming down to the bottom side if the play overextended. Teleports back to the top side because he had a good lane state. All the while, they look for the play. And I mean, I've got to say, that cleanse from LP was really nasty.
Perfect.
Yeah, he didn't even stop moving. Like,
no.
We're going to get, it's going to be slow mode. I know the observers love this stuff. Look at this. Wow.
You know what the crazy thing is? That cleanse happened, and I didn't think the Ashe arrow had happened. That's why I said it wasn't that great of a cleanse, because I was just like, why is he using cleanse? And then I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, we're going to have to come back into live and do have Xiaohao using the Cyclone. They will get the Dragon, though, in favor of LNG. They'll lose their jungler, but they'll get themselves away. But yeah, I'm not proud enough to say when I'm wrong. I genuinely didn't think he got CC'd by anything.
I get it, because the Ashe straight through the culling, so it just didn't really look like anything had been thrown at him. Can't fault you for that. First time. Visual clarity is definitely something that's been lost on us a little bit over the years of League of Legends sometimes. And that's why I can appreciate your job. It's so difficult to track all of the things going on.
On 360p, it's a little harder. I'm gonna be real with you.
On 360p as well. There's LP. Yeah. Looking for a little bit more than 360 LP in this game. A series win is what he wants. I guess, well, a series win is technically worth like
it's a tier up, you know. It's from diamond to master. So SwordArt dies. Yeah, so we can talk about kind of tearing up right now. I'm tearing up. It's emotional.
I think he's tearing up. It's true.
We're getting a little loopy right now. It's getting a little off rails.
I don't mind. This is a good vibe. I mean, I've got to say, right now, we're seeing the correct kind of plays come out from both teams. There's no Cyclone available, so this play will be quite forced without the addition of CC.
Xiaohao is almost dead. Never mind, he is dead. The tidal wave giving LP a little bit of extra movement speed. Oh, no. He's not going to be able to trade it back. Betty will survive as well, but oh my days, that was a hell of a lot of damage going on to Xiaohao. As you can see, Tarzan looked like he could maybe try and help out his support to make sure it was only a 1-for-1 trade, but not there in time. As we can see, Scout now using his priority to pick himself 2 plates in mid lane.
Has demolished, even though he's roaming side to side. It says, I will take my windows of opportunity where I can get them. Sometimes not, you'll see like shield bash or other things. Look at this burst that much. Look at the shield bash. Who cares about the shield bash? With Luffy today, but it's fine. It's just so much irresponsible. This is before Gale Force is there. No mandate either. This very well could have been turned around if the gold was available. And already
the gold was available. I just don't think it was spent. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. He comes back with a Gale Force and some trimmings.
Gale Force mandate. And now, this is a problem for anyone's legend, specifically at the bottom lane, because the next time that they dash forward, and they will dash forward, bet your SwordArt will die, and there's not going to be an answer for it. So anyone's legend need to get smart real quick and probably force a play on the top side. The issue is though, with a global comp like this, with Galio. Oh,
SwordArt said.
Yep, bye bye SwordArt. Wait, where's? Okay. Well. Okay. This is one of those moments. Wait. This is one of those moments where we have perfect information, but they saw him rotating.
They saw him rotating. No. So this is the thing, right? This is actually a bit of a pet peeve of mine. Okay. When you show Fog of War for a particular team, it's all well and good, but if it takes away information from the casters that they're going to be imperative to them actually knowing what's going on, it's bad observing. And I'm going to call it that because I see it so often in NA do it a lot. And it really just triggers me so much because I'm just like, it's like, they're like, oh, what's happening? Maybe there's, and then the jungler's like, you know, in a brush where there's no ward. And then like, actually what happened was 20 seconds ago, he walked away and he's now farming Krugs. Like, it upsets me.
Ahri, is this Fog of War in the room with you right now?
The call is coming from inside the house.
Oh,
well, we're going to see a little bit of a engage on this bot side. I mean, it's a dragon, but nothing too crazy to come for it. And like what AL are trying to do, they had a moment there where there was no Tarzan. They had an opportunity to make sure they could, but it's going to be cleared out just as quickly. So AL, they need to contest this next dragon. You're letting a Camille and a Galio get an Ocean Soul? Not exactly ideal.
Nope, not at all. And I think especially if you're talking about playing sides, the limited amount of pick potential that is there, if the burst damage doesn't come through, and you know, the thing I'll always say about Ocean Soul is it's pretty conditional. I think it's arguably weaker than Alp Soul, depending, you know, Soul's
I think
typically
both are
quite
pretty conditional.
You know, but I feel like in those all-in situations, now often or not, League of Legends champions do have enough burst damage to, you know, remove someone from a rift. But if that tick comes in at the right time, and all of a sudden it's not a kill, and it's not a Spirit Rush reset, things get awkward real quick, and it could be a very big deal as how much damage LP has available to him. The culling chips away, not too much, but you can see what it's capable of on the clone. He is at Spike, and right now, speaking of spikes, Zika on that bottom side tier 2. We'll back away now as anyone's legend will come to collapse. But again, you know, the damage is being done. AL being pulled around the map, and they could get engaged on here.
They are getting engaged in bottom, but the Tarzan's a little bit by himself. He tries to go in. He hasn't died just yet as they take out the Rumble and the Ahri two-man taunt. SwordArt has nowhere to go as he gets taken out by the Camille. Nami picks herself up one as well, and this game is looking clean right now, Jamada. They're going to get soul point, they're going to get this tower as well, and LNG going to catapult themselves to a 4,000 gold lead.
That one's going in place of the week. I know it. I know a play of the week when I see one, and that was nasty. Tarzan goes in, gets the shield from Galio as well. It looks a bit sketchy. I think what made it sketchy realistically is just the ultimate from ZDZ. It just splits apart LNG. It kind of puts a little bit of apprehension on the approach. You'll see it once SwordArt comes out of the bush. It just stops the rest of LNG from following up from the bottom side. Just to buy a bit of time, but the space buying, Camille ultimate, plus the Galio keeps Tarzan in the game. Everyone just gets balled on the back end. I think triple kill, or is it that kill that gets stolen away by Pong? So no triple, but still damage being done here, and it feels like LNG have made it back to the series. Game 1, bit of a hiccup. Game number 2, you know, they woke up. Now game number 3, have their morning coffee. And they are ready to conquer the day.
You a coffee drinker, Jamada?
Yeah, I am. You know.
Yeah. I don't drink
Seems
caffeine.
Really?
Yeah, never have. I'm one of those weirdos
even teas?
that has.
Even teas?
I'll have a cup of tea, but it's like I'm in my mum and dad's house, and like my mum's like cup of tea. You know, it's more like that.
Oh. Okay.
As Scout is unafraid and moving forward, but yeah. I was just gonna say, like, you know, I'm one of those weirdos who likes to have like a 90-second cold shower in the morning after my regular shower. So I have a regular shower, regular temperatures.
Oh, but that's really healthy. That's really healthy. That's
actually, it is very healthy, but the science behind it is it helps you get off of caffeine dependency because it gives you a massive rush of dopamine in the morning, and it means that you're not tired.
Yeah, I didn't know about the caffeine dependency thing. So I drink coffee. This is maybe the weird part. I actually drink coffee because I like the taste of coffee. I don't really.
Dagged is the exact same. Dagged is like, I can go with or without coffee, but he loves, like, genuinely loves, like, different beans and roasts and stuff.
Yeah. See, especially my partner is a barista. She makes coffee. She knows how to do it. So
you got the inside track.
I've got the inside track. I get spoiled whenever she's around. With all of the knowledge.
Do you have a go-to blend or anything?
Nothing super fancy. I'm very much like a caramel macchiato guy. You know, I like how caramel makes the coffee taste a little bit sweeter, but it's not like super overbearing. And I like macchiatos, so it's just a really nice blend.
Just a good combination of things.
Yeah, just a good combination of things. I know. Speaking on coffee, hold point. Benji, is he dead?
He might be. He's getting CC'd up and he won't be able to move. So
back at coffee.
Our distraction from our coffee talk has been done. Come back to the coffee.
Been watching a lot of Cadra's co-streams recently. Come to the realization he doesn't like chai lattes. Now I need to try one, but normally that seems like it seems like a pretty like. Now maybe I don't know what a chai latte is fully.
There's a chai latte and there's a dirty chai latte, and a dirty chai latte is not nice in my opinion, but what also is not nice is losing your flash trying to get some vision control. Shelly trying to move in forward, and this is awful for AL. They're not even going to be able to get the charge down. They're ignoring it. They're ignoring Shelly, and they want kills, they want damage, and they want stacks in that Medjai's for Scout. 1 kill, 2 kills, maybe even more, and that is everything. Shelly still got her thing, because LNG only had 1 track bind, and they are making sure that they get everything in this game.
Yeah. Who cares about a mid lane tier 1 Giga Chat? Don't need it. We're so far ahead. It's not gonna matter. And yeah, like you say, bit 1 track mind, but they get the kills. Ocean Soul's up in 90 seconds. Their ultimate's being used now as well, means they'll be back on off cooldown once that objective spawns up. Opt to go for ZDZ over any of the other carries, and I quite like that. Simply because if they go for, you know, SwordArt for Betty here, damage collapse from Xiaohao and ZDZ, if they're not being focused, could have actually been something that, you know, the frontliners would have been a little bit worried about. But, you know, nothing over serious as they return back to the map with more gold spent, more items. You have to imagine Soul will go over, and it's more about whether or not anyone's legend can actually find an opportunity to find a pit. That's about it. That's their only win condition, guys. I wish I could, you know, I could be a little more optimistic.
Is this the pick they want, though? Is this still Zika? Never mind, they get the kill.
No,
Good job to them. 33
okay.
seconds on that dragon, and the death timer to boot, so not too bad.
He's
There is a
got
TP.
Yeah.
So 10 seconds after the dragon, LNG should have their top laner back with them, so not 100% done just yet. That's 18 stacks on the Medjais for Scout. That is that's a hefty boy, and he's got his Zhonya's as well, so he's pretty damn powerful right now.
Yeah, I know Nymeira's out there smiling somewhere. By the book. I think it's by the damn book.
He's only like that when it specifically comes to Ahri, though, I believe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
True. But Medjai is a pretty good item. You should buy it more if you're not going to die. Anyway, LNG need to get in here to get the soul. And they're not being denied access. Here's the engage.
They're going for the engage. Tarzan goes in. Tarzan does not get the steal, so they will not get the soul, but they are going to get a hell of a lot of kills. The solution. 1 kill, 2 kill, 3 kills, 4. LNG do not get the dragon, but AL are going to lose the entire game, you would imagine. Look at the damage, a 3-item Lucian. The West may not like the Lucian Nami, but the East certainly believes it has some power in it, as the L just knows how to pilot this champ.
Yeah, and to finish a rhyme, why not go for 1 kill more? LNG get 5-man clean ace, and they're going to get everything else. Baron, towers, AL, they've been routed in this game 3, plain and simple. And this is what we expected from the series from minute 1. I will give credit to AL for making LNG trip up, but it is not the series that LNG needed to lose it all. And at the very least, despite losing that one individual game, they don't pick up this dragon here, but get everything else they need.
Xiaohao showing with his dying breath to get the dragon down. So at least look, you win the Smite War in that particular one. Very rare to do that against Tarzan, especially when he's unimpeded really getting into that Baron pit or Dragon pit. But yeah, I mean, it's just every time I'm like, why pick Lucian Nami? That's why pick Lucian Nami. When it gets ahead, when you get up to those big mid-game power spikes, it is just oppressive and there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah, exactly. So oppressive. 3 items now, even as a QSS, just in case he gets clipped here. I quite like that, because he probably had the goal for like another BF sword. Really well timed cleanse there. I think the kill's a little bit unnecessary, but you know, better safe than sorry, I suppose. And also that hook shot. It looked like it was about
Tarzan,
to
you're on a ward, buddy.
He
okay. Now knows it.
It's fine. Well, let's see what anyone legend can do. They've still got a little bit of gas in the tank, but they're running on empty. And the car's still going. Will's still there. The momentum's in. But so is Zika.
Yeah, and Scout, they look to try and make this the end play. They are still tanking the turret right now, but here comes the Lucian. And 25 stacks on that Medjai means that Scout is doing just as much damage. You can see just no real response. They lose 2, they gain 1, but they've lost their base now as well. Xiaohao on a little bit of a journey of discovery, seeing if he can discover how to get out of this predicament. He actually has found himself completely over the Baron pit, but he doesn't know he's not being chased in the right direction, so his base is now being sieged, and that tower is not going to be long for this world. The good Zhonya's there for Pinzi, but it's a good arrow to hand on the Scout on the back of it. Will not die as he's got himself the Justice Punch, and everyone backs themselves away. 21-7, 11,000 gold lead. LNG are all but done with this game. And they will reset, get themselves back onto the map, spend all their gold, and it's just going to be another fight before this game is done.
Yep, should be the case. Zika takes no prisoners, just goes in, knocks down Bay, Knockoff comes in, Bay gets crushed underneath the hero's entrance. The taunt that follows is good. The damage return is alright for anyone's legend, especially in a situation like this. You'd expect almost no one to go down, but still, you can see it's just a bit of a slacking. Wallet diff, everything diff right now. LNG is going to look to close out as appropriately as they can. They've still got a couple seconds left on this Baron, but they want to end. The bases already open. They're going to try and see through the bottom side right now.
Oh my god. Pinzi goes out, comes back in, gonna have to use the last one to go out again. And this tower is dead. This inhibitor is gone. And AL shall continue searching for more wins. Look, it's not a 0-win season. They are 2-11, soon to be 2-12 once this game is over. It definitely does not feel good. A lot of question marks brought up now for this team coming into the next year, or next split, I should say. They're looking towards summer as Betty is dead. Zika gets that one. Great tidal wave, lands on the 3. Xiaohao will fall down afterwards. Good Zonias from Zika, but Galio ultimate just to make sure everyone has enough magic resistance against this heavy magic damage team. And that is going to be LNG back up into double wins, double-digit wins, getting themselves up to 10-3.
Good stuff from LNG. Tripped up, recovered well, didn't graze their knee. Was the important part. And they'll keep themselves
Stumbled but didn't fall.
Stumbled but didn't fall, and they'll keep themselves competitive for that second place race. Equal games left with JDG. I think it's very, very important to remember, and a similar kind of final set of games as well. So can't really afford to lose almost to the team, surprisingly enough. JDG's only different matchup left is the fact that they will be playing RA in place of IG. IG is LNG's next series in about 4 days time. But good stuff here in game 2, in game 3. Definitely, you know, doing a good job here of making sure that they're not losing to a team like AL.
Yeah, and look, you know, they get the